the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard me on the radio, flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K.
Miami Dolphins fans, welcome to another episode of Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake. I got to change this banner right here, and I will once we revamp this whole channel in the offseason, man. We got a lot of things in the works, so stay tuned, man. It's a Victory Tuesday. We talked yesterday during the Victory Monday. It's great to have everybody here. We got Shake coming up soon with the good, the bad, the ugly. He's got some memes for us. We got G. We got Lucci voicing his opinion of the game this week and what's going forward. Next week, we got a Monday night game against the Tennessee Titans. And listen, I'm not taking them as I'm at the point, and I told you guys this. I'm at the point where I'm just shutting up. I'm staying humble. There's a lot of craziness going on in Jets world right now. I mean, I was listening to it all day today on the radio. You got their head coach is texting like a fan who's a former radio host who's going on the radio reading his texts. I mean, it's a mess, but I'm not even saying anything because I'm trying to stay humble because, you know, you never know how these things shake out. We're in good position right now. You got an injury update from Mike McDaniel today on his press conference. He says Jerome Baker, luckily, week to week. He said he's not going on to IR. It's MCL, not ACL. It's probably a sprain. He's going on. He's week to week. Teron Armstead may play this week, but we're going to see how he feels. He may wind up being week to week. As far as Robert Hunt goes, he is week to week. And McDaniel explained that, unfortunately, they were cautious with his hamstring injury. And they were trying to be conservative with bringing him back, which they've been doing all year, right? This load management, they've been doing it all year. And they thought they waited long enough to bring him back so that he would be okay. But sadly, what happened was, apparently there was a blitz he wasn't expecting, so he had to change his gait and change the way he positioned himself on a sudden clip, real quick. He wasn't expecting it. And it led to him, unfortunately, having a setback with that hamstring injury. So I think you're going to see Robert Hunt out for a couple weeks. And I think you're going to see Jerome Baker out for a couple weeks. And that's just how it's going to go. I think Teron Armstead, you might even see him this Monday, or you might see him, the following week. It's been a shame with Armstead, man. It's just, no matter what he does, and he's tried his best. McDaniel said it today. He's tried his best to stay healthy, to put himself in a position to stay healthy. But he just continues to tweak something. It's the quad, it's the calf, it's the ankle now. Just let's knock on wood that he'll be available for the playoffs. And he was kind of alluding to it today that I heard was, this guy's an important part of the team from a leadership standpoint. He's an important part of the team from having wisdom, right? And bringing an element to the team, to the sidelines, to the meeting rooms that goes beyond his physical contribution on the field. So just having him around the team can help, especially when you got a guy like Kendall Lamb, as his backup, who hopefully is going to be healthy now. So we're going through this injury thing, and you're look at KC, right? Look at KC. They had a bunch of guys going down left and right. I think their safety went down with a very gruesome ankle injury. So there's things going on with every team. Every team is facing injury issues. And that's why you can't count your chickens before they hatch, because you never know what's going to happen. Take a look at Jacksonville. Jacksonville's playing last night. And what is it? This is what I'm a little worried. I'm going to be honest with you, right? What is this with Monday and Sunday night games where every time I'm watching one of these games and a team that's not expected to lose, Newfoundland, Fins up. What up? Anybody in here who has not subscribed yet, I'm going to wait for you. Click subscribe right now. Click subscribe. I mean, there's no reason we're not at 1,500 subscribers yet. This whole season, we've been fighting and clawing to get to 1,500 subscribers. We're still not there. Click subscribe right now. Just click it. Click subscribe right now. Just it's right here. It's right here. Click it. Do me a favor. Fins up. If you believe in the Fins, click subscribe. If you're a true Fins fan, you will click subscribe right now. Click subscribe. And what up from Texas is in here. People all over here. Do it, as B McD says. Do it. Do it. Remember that movie? But Trevor. So I'm watching these games, right? Sunday night, Monday night. Every time I'm watching them, there's some team that we need to lose, and they're not expected to lose. And I'm dozing off every time, and I'm getting ready to go to sleep. And as I'm peering up from my half slumber, delirium, I see these teams going down every week. And last night was no different. The Cincinnati Bengals, with a backup quarterback, take down the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jaguars, I mean, that stadium, they're loud. They're crazy right now. They got a pool in there. All kinds of stuff going on. And, Rutgers, we had the hot tub. And by the way, for all my Miami U fans out there, man, we got the bowl matchup December 28th, Rutgers, Miami. That's a game right there. And check out my preview on my Rutgers channel on that. But anyway, Trevor Lawrence gets stepped on. He gets stepped on. And they think it's like, they feel a catastrophe. The way he was walking off the field, the way he looked. Now, luckily for him, and I think luckily for the league, Trevor Lawrence is going to be good. He had a sprained ankle, but he's not going to come back next week. Who knows how long Trevor Lawrence is going to be out? If it's a severe sprain, could be out until the playoffs. So don't count your chickens before they hatch, and you got to respect the load management we've been doing and how we've been handling injuries, because the most important thing we can do is stay healthy for the playoffs and for the run. And Lucci says that pool in Jacksonville, man, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah. And I mean, it definitely is. I mean, I don't doubt it, bro. I'll tell you guys a story one time about New Jersey, about this guy, this cab driver told me a certain city was like Sodom and Gomorrah. And it wasn't the one you'd expect. So that's what's funny. But I get a little nervous because now all of a sudden, look who has a Monday night game with a team we're supposed to beat. You're going to have Kansas City fans, Jacksonville fans, Baltimore fans watching our game and being like, oh, we don't expect the Dolphins to lose, but if the Dolphins lose, it sure would be great for us. So we got to take care of business, man. We got to take care of business. We've been taking care of business. I hope we take care of business. Do I expect us to take care of business? Well, yes, just because that's the level of play and the level of dedication and focus that this team has shown so far this year. So I expect them to continue to have that focus. You're damn right I do. But anything can happen any given Sunday, and we have a tough one coming up again in primetime Monday night, Tennessee. Now, as I said yesterday, the fact is we only have one more road game. One more road game. It's a tough road game. It's against Baltimore. And, our holidays are going to be interesting, man. You got Christmas Eve, Dallas, New Year's Eve, Baltimore. I mean, for the sake of all of our families and our friends and our girlfriends and everybody else, I hope we win. Because you don't want to have like a downtrodden, grumpy, holiday. But look, I'll tell you what I saw against Washington. I said this yesterday. I'll say it again today. The poise that I saw in our first game of December football in crappy northeastern weather against an unfamiliar opponent. Not a good opponent, but an unfamiliar opponent. In this show me season, Fury fam, in this season where it's all about show me what you are and what you're about and show me that you can meet expectations, I was impressed with what they showed me. You had an integral defensive player go down. You had Duke Riley come in. Duke Riley balled. You had AVG go in there. Now, look, I'm not, Commanders tackle ain't all that. Gonna have tougher tests, but it's not like AVG wasn't balling out earlier in the year when Phillips was out. So it was nice to see AVG ball out. Agba got a sack, although Agba gets a sack. The next play, he misses contain. He misses contain. We go around the edge. So, you got to clean that up, I think, something, people aren't necessarily aware of, or something people aren't necessarily cognizant of, is when Phillips went down, it wasn't just about the pass rush. That's a big part of his game. That's where he was getting his accolades. That's what was making him a star. But his versatility, where early in his career, he might struggle against the run, and he was almost like a pass rush specialist. If you paid attention this year, he was playing the run very well. And so you saw with Agba, like it was going through my mind as I'm watching the game, Agba gets a sack, and they're down, I think it's like 2nd and 17 or something. And the very next play is an outside run right to Agba's side, and he completely misses contain, and the guy goes around, pushes through for a first down. I'm not saying this to bash or anything. I'm just saying, things to keep an eye on as we get down this stretch, and why you should be a humble fan and don't count your chickens. Is, we're going to have to deal with attrition and injury like everybody else, and it's going on around the league. But we are the number 1 seed right now. We are the number 1 seed. It's there for the taking. And what I saw, aside from the one gadget play that really got on my nerves, what I saw from the coach and the quarterback on Sunday, albeit against an inferior opponent at this stage, let's be honest. That's what they are. They're inferior opponent right now, the Commanders this year. I saw a coach who stuck to the run in the second half when the game was already out of hand the way he should have. I saw a quarterback who was sidestepping more than once, sidestepping rushing defenders in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, reading the defense, not releasing the ball when it was dangerous, and throwing the ball perfectly on a dime to the guys that were open. It's a shame Waddle dropped the one pass because it was a beautiful play by Tua. Miami Kid Jay, what's up, my brother? Says, Larry, for some reason, Tua seems to struggle on prime time. Do you think those under the lights woes come to an end on Monday? Would like to see him let it rip even more in Tennessee. Remember, Tennessee gave him trouble his first year, and it was down the stretch. Now, Tennessee, here's what we got to understand about Tennessee, right? Teams have windows. And with the way the salary cap is, and the way that I think it's more than salary cap, right? Salary cap has a lot to do with what up, Adam? Salary cap has a lot to do with it because you can only keep a team together for so long in today's NFL with the salary cap. When you draft guys and they're on their rookie deals, you have a better chance of doing it. So teams have a window because of the salary cap. But teams also have a window, I think, with philosophy, with coaching, right? When a new coach comes in, there's like this culture change. There's this injection of energy into a franchise. And not only that, but if you have a coach who's got innovative prowess in the X's and O's department, he can get out ahead of the league for a couple years and kind of keep everybody on their heels for a couple years schematically. But after those couple years, whether it's defense, whether it's offense, I mean, you even saw it with Rex Ryan with the Jets back in the day, his defensive prowess. You saw it out in L.A. with the offense for a couple years. You saw it when Bill Belichick, and I'm not somebody who's going to rep Bill Belichick, but with Bill Belichick, you saw it. He kind of got out ahead of the curve when he drafted the 2 tight ends in Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, and then all of a sudden he's running these 2 double tight end sets down the seam all the time, and then all of a sudden you see Jimmy Graham, you see all these really athletic quasi-wide receiver tight ends, and now you're seeing that kind of fade back, and you see this Shanahan offense with these more traditional tight ends and even fullbacks on San Francisco and Miami. So teams have windows, right? And right now we are in our window. We're in our window right now. This is the beginning of our window, which is why don't count your chickens. Don't get too enthusiastic, but be happy. Embrace every week. Embrace the show today. Embrace every win. Okay? Dan Marino went in 84 and never went back. So I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just saying in reference to Tennessee, they are at the end of their window. I would even say they are on the decline and their window has closed now. And they had a few years with a really good defense. Tannehill was playing pretty good. Not great. And they have an amazing running back who we may not see Sunday because he's in concussion protocol, last I heard. But make no mistake about it. Tennessee is not the Patriots. They're not a pushover team. They still have some of the bones and some of the semblance of that window that got them to an AFC championship game, that got them moving forward the last few years. And so this isn't going to be a cakewalk for Miami. To answer your question, Miami Kid J, I do think, and I'm not guaranteeing anything, and I'm not a soothsayer, but I am an analyst of sorts. I expect Tua to take care of business on Sunday. I expect us to have another good performance. But the team's got to stay focused. And I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk like some of these other games were. Just because it's prime time and it's Tennessee and they're not terrible. Now, here's the thing. This is the perfect game. So you got to remember the way Tua's season has gone this year and compare it to other seasons and the way the coaching has gone, right? Previous seasons, he comes out of the bye week and there might be like a little slump. And that slump continues, and that slump kind of exponentially, compounds itself as we near the playoffs. And we start getting into trouble. We start scoreboard watching, all this. Now, this season, Tua had a rough couple weeks. Even though he played okay, even though we won, he was throwing picks. He was making some questionable decisions. Now against Washington, some people like Omar Kelly like to refer to it as a get-right game, right? A get-right game. Kind of had a get-right game. And now the Commanders have a terrible secondary, But that's the kind of game where you want to hone your skills, get back on track because they have a terrible secondary. He did it. Now, they were playing man on Tyreek, doing all kinds of crazy stuff they shouldn't have done, but that's the Commanders. But my point is, I think the sharpness was there. Tennessee is an excellent opportunity for this coach, for this quarterback, for this team to shake that monkey off their back with the primetime stuff, because Tennessee is not as formidable as some of the other teams they've gone up against this year in primetime. So if you're ever going to shake that off your back, and I guess you could say they already did it on Black Friday, but Monday night's a little different, and it's not a division rival. I think it's the perfect opportunity for Tua and Miami to go out there and shed that nonsense already and put on a show. And I do expect them to do well. But I don't expect the game to be easy. I'll tell you that much. Now, we'll see if Javon Holland comes back. I hope he does. We'll see what our offensive line is looking like. You saw Achane brings an element to the offense, and Mostert's a beast. Mostert's an absolute beast, and I hope he breaks Ricky's record this year. I love Mostert. He's a hard runner. But Achane, the way he hits those holes it's beautiful to watch if you understand the game of football. And the fact is, our offensive line is formidable with the backups in, and that's a tribute to Butch Barry, the offensive line coach. That's a tribute to the front office, who has brought in guys who are serviceable, beyond serviceable backups, who have, had their own dedication to the craft, to learn, to get better. But the line is not going to open the same type of holes for these guys with all the backups in as opposed to the starters. So you hope that down the stretch we get the starters back in. But as of right now, you got a full stable of running backs. And here's what I want to see. You saw it against the Jets. You saw Achane getting a lot of run at the end of this, the game this week. I didn't love that. I love Achane. I know he needs the reps. I know he's a serious weapon. But I really think we get into another situation like that where we're in the 4-minute offense. And maybe just in general to keep guys fresh, I want to see Jeff Wilson get touches. I want to see Jeff Wilson get touches. The guys, he runs hard. He runs tough. And, somebody like Achan who's got a smaller frame, maybe he doesn't want to take that pound. And I'm not saying he doesn't want to. Maybe you shouldn't let him take that pound. That's just my one little caveat, my one little critique from the game. But here's something else, and then I'll move on, and I'll get my boy G up here for his intro. There was a lot of talk earlier in the season about the Dolphins not being a physical team, about the Dolphins being out physicaled against, the tougher opponents. And watching Hard Knocks, the emphasis they place on physicality, watching them dedicate themselves to this run game, and then watching Raheem Mostert, the way he runs, game in, game out, drive in and drive out, snap after snap. The way Raheem runs, he might have a reputation because he's a fast guy as a finesse dude. He ain't a finesse dude. And this team, despite what you may think, is not a finesse team. You see Tyreek Hill getting bandaged up, going in with a bum hand, taking snaps behind the line, running around. This is not a finesse team, all things considered. And here's why I bring that up. Going into this stretch, when we need to be physical, we need to grind it out, and we need to be the ones to punch teams in the mouth. I like our physicality. I like this running back stable. You couple that with these weapons on the outside, you really are going to scare some people. The only thing this team's missing, in my humble opinion, aside from Phillips, because adding him, what a monster. Hopefully they play their ass off for him. And aside from our quarterbacking middle linebacker now, Baker, who will be back this season, the only thing this team's really missing, sans the injuries, is a tight end. Smythe is good. I'm not against him. But imagine if we had a Kittle. I expect them to go after that in the offseason. We're not there yet. And there's no reason to talk about the offseason. And there's no reason to talk about anything other than the Titans, to be honest with you. But this is a formidable team. And the physicality of this team, I like it, man. I think it bodes well for us going forward. And I'm excited about it. But without further ado, allow me to present to you the introduction on a Victory Tuesday of the New England Pimp, the New England Slayer, the grocery store gangster, the swift, slick student, G.
Well, Fairy Fam, I didn't see you there. I got my feet up. And I saw you up top.
What's going on, my brother?
What's up, everybody? Just enjoying our top of the AFC right now.
Ooh, I like that.
See what happens, but for now, I'm going to enjoy it.
I like it. How you feeling, G? You just feeling good, enjoying it?
Great. These are all full of tears of all the other teams. We got Patriot fans crying quarterback they want. I was listening to radio today. They were complaining about Caleb Williams. They were complaining about Penix, saying that he's left-handed. They were complaining about Drake May. They were complaining about J.J. McCarthy and his girlfriend. It's great. It's good for the radio. Patriot fans are crying about which quarterback. They're crying about the team. Some even say they should get a tackle.
Oh, right? I love it. So you're drinking those tears. You got Jets tears in there? Jet fan tears
Jets
in there?
Fans, they're still, they want Zach Wilson back, apparently. Tim Boyle got released.
They do. Yeah, they cut Tim Boyle.
Griffin now. Bills are the Bills at this rate. This is just great. And the Dolphins just keep doing what they're doing. We control our own destiny, and everyone else loses that. We need to lose, but they shouldn't lose these games. I was watching that Chiefs-Packers game. I was like, the Chiefs, they're not going to lose this game. What do you know? I turn it on in the fourth quarter. They're losing.
Bro, I thought the same thing. I was like, there's no way the Chiefs are losing this game. No, and then they do.
Now it's a good thing. Now that the Chiefs lost, now they can beat the Bills. And then if the Dolphins can beat the Titans and Jets in 2 weeks, we can start pre-ordering those AFC East Championships T-shirts.
That would be beautiful.
What happened? I don't know. The Titans are going to be a good team. They're without Henry. Will Levis is a rookie quarterback. He can sling the rock. DeAndre Hopkins. Titans defense, I don't know what to say. They gave up 25 to the Colts, but man, if Tua can just do his thing, and if we can show up in primetime, which would be the first, hopefully, W in the primetime, excluding the Jets, I mean, this would be
I would love that. Yeah, that's big G, the primetime thing. I love the tiers. I mean, you got Shake drinking salty Tuas and pimp juice. You know, you got you over here just crushing the tears of fallen fans and their cry. I mean, I just absolutely, I can't get enough of it. I keep the radio on all day, and it's nothing to do with me. I just think the Jets are the best, one of the best drama in the NFL. You cut Boyle. You want Zach back. Zach doesn't want to come back. Like, what on earth is going on here? I love it. I love it, G. I really do.
Great. It's great.
I really do. So let's with that in mind, G, with the tears, as you sip your tears and enjoy your wonderful evening.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
Jake Money, what's up, my brother? What do you got?
What's going on?
Bro?
It's another beautiful. Well, you know me.
Morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Now you read my mind.
There you go. What's up, Shake?
So, let's start off with the good.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Van Ginkel stepping up as always.
Sign him now.
They better sign him, bro. I'm not playing.
Yeah. Hey, listen. If we get rid of this, there's a defensive player that acts like a Power Ranger. If we get rid of him, we'll make room for him.
Oh man.
Yeah. All he does is splits anyway, so it doesn't matter. We don't need him. Anyway, playing complimentary football.
Yes. Finally, like even Sanders is hitting field goals, Shake.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it.
The bad.
Ooh.
Here we go. I would say people still downplaying the win. At the end of the day, we are playing what we're supposed to play, but guess what? The teams with winning records are losing to teams with losing records.
They
Right.
hate us.
No, it's a good point because we might not have beaten a team. That's great. Well, we didn't lose to teams like they are. Not hopefully we take care of business Monday, but just saying, pick your poison, bro.
Yeah. Baker
On a stupid play.
But hey, I mean, I like his backup. His backup was playing beautifully.
He was. Duke Riley was playing good.
And here's the thing. The Jets got 2 quality wins. They got wins against what's that? Who they beat the Eagles and they beat the Bills when they were, hot, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what good has that done them?
True.
And by the way, we do have a playoff. Remember we beat the Steelers in prime time and we beat Baltimore in prime time with Tua. So we've had won some primetime games.
That is true. What was that? A Thursday night game? That Baltimore game 2 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, Thursday night game.
That was a fun game. I mean, the defense owned.
And don't forget, we beat New England this year primetime.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think of that because it's New England. Ha ha! Drink those tears, G. I didn't even realize it was prime time. Patriots ain't prime time. Yeah. That's Bailey Zappi going down in that little freaking drink of yours. God, what a beautiful thing.
Dylan, shout out to my guy Dylan who pulled up on the scene.
Dylan, what up, my brother?
Josh Allen is trash, Dylan.
Yeah.
The ugly is besides my freaking face in this computer screen. What's ugly here?
Injury. The QB's getting injured in the league.
It kills the game, bro. And there's so much emphasis on the quarterback position that when guys go down, it really hurts the game. It really is a tough.
You know what's ironic?
Mm-hmm.
The quarterback that was deemed injury prone in the AFC North is so far the one who's been staying the healthiest.
Yeah,
which is Lamar Jackson. He has every season he's missed. And he's
despite how he runs and despite how he plays the game. Which, look, I'm a fan of him. I know people hate on him because he's not maybe pound for pound the best pure passer in the league, but the dude changes a team. He's a beast. He's gonna be a tough out for us. We're gonna have to do what we do, especially without a Phillips, an athletic end like that. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, man. But I know that's 2 weeks away, 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the last ugly, it's not this is something on my mind, so it's not NFL related. It's football related, but not NFL related. The playoff snub. I think FSU got robbed without a run this weekend.
Without
At the end of the day, they should be over Texas and definitely Alabama, who barely beat South Florida. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I think FSU was robbed.
I can't curse.
I hate. Hey, listen. As a Gator fan, I hate FSU as much as the next person. But fair is fair. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? People overlook it now until, like I said, what happens? Remember with the Eagle, everybody's complaining about what the Russ did to the Eagles game. It's gonna happen again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who do you hate more, the Canes or FSU? The Canes, right? Who do you hate more, the Canes or FSU?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Greg, what were you gonna say? And then I want to hear Lucci too.
I hate Florida State, but I don't hate them as much as the SEC and Alabama. I hate both of the. I hate the SEC. I'm glad Georgia's out. I hate Nick Saban. I hate Alabama. They didn't deserve it. The SEC sucked this year.
I hate the SEC too.
Is 6-4 against the ACC. The ACC. God, it's so confusing. It's 6-4 against the SEC this year. It's terrible. This would have been a great playoff with no SEC, but now we got to watch Alabama win the title because as a Michigan man, as a Michigan fan, kind of, they're going to beat Alabama third of, and Texas will be Washington. It's going to be a Texas-Alabama rematch. I hope it isn't, but by the way, I'll be betting during the bowl season, Larry. I'm taking Rutgers to beat Miami, and I'm taking Alabama, Texas. FSU to get snubbed 100%.
I co-sign that.
Put my guy on the mute for a 30-second mute. Hey, let me give a shout out to my guy Dylan real quick.
Dylan, what up? Adam, I can't wait for that game, man. I'm hyped about it. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be in the building for that game.
Where is that game?
New York, Bronx, New York. Yankee Stadium.
I might have to make a trip for that one just to be a super standout fan.
Yeah, there's gonna be some Canes fans in the building.
My cousin, I can almost guarantee you my cousin will be there. I have to check with him, but
yeah, let me know if he's there, man. I mean, it's gonna be a good game in my opinion. We'll see who plays, who doesn't. We never beat Miami. Miami's owned us for years. We'll see what happens. I actually think that's a good matchup. That's a good little bowl of two teams that people get twisted with the conferences, man. Which Greg was saying, like the SEC has a losing record against the ACC this year. Like, yeah, you look at the top teams of every conference, that's one thing. But you start going pound for pound from top to bottom in these conferences, there's a lot more parity and people get credit for. I'm just saying. We beat, what was it, Arkansas like twice in a row, and they're in the SEC when, Rutgers was a little better in the early 2010s. We beat them two seasons in a row, home and away. And I mean, I was like, okay, the SEC's good, but damn, are they so good that, but anyway, the quarterback being hurt is a problem. But I mean, why you even play the games then? You're 13-0. You don't make the playoff. What's your take, Lucci?
I'll say this. First and foremost, you can go back to one of your Rutgers channel videos. And I said in that video, hopefully we'll end up in a bowl game together. And you said that would be dope. And it ended up happening.
That's dope.
Quoted in the comment section. So it's pretty cool that worked out like that.
Yeah.
Just real quick to touch on this college situation. I halfway agree with Shakes and the rest of the nation who's upset about it, and I halfway don't. Truth be told, listen, man, it's about viewers. With college football, money's involved. It's kind of like the NFL. The NFL money's involved too, and I know that refs help and they think but in college, money, it's heavily influenced by money. And listen, who the hell wants to watch a Florida State team with a third-string quarterback go get mudded by whoever they play?
As long as Alabama happy.
Any one of them three teams, besides a Florida State fan, any one of them three teams knows they're going to get smoked. They're going
that's what I was hoping for.
Smoke. That's it. It's not going to be a good game. Listen, miss me with the
I want them to get smoked fair and square.
Oh, shucks. That sounds all fair and stuff. And all, man, get out of here with that. And then some people are saying, well, let's just go back to the computer picks it. And the computer picks it. As a Miami fan, I remember the year us and Florida State only lost one game apiece. and Florida State got the nod. But what the computer didn't know is the one game that Florida State lost to was to the Miami Hurricanes. And Florida State still got the nod. So either way, it's not fair.
Yes.
It is that's college football. That's why
Yes.
I don't subscribe to college football like that. I don't. I grew up down there. I'm a diehard Hurricanes fan, but I don't like the politics in college football. It's a bunch of BS. I don't like if you lose one game, your season's pretty much over.
Yep.
I don't like that if you go undefeated, you can't make it to the playoffs. And even before that, there was other teams. Boise State did a million years in a row. They never made it to the, because nobody wants to watch who the hell is watching Boise State? And it's understandable. If Florida State or the Hurricanes or the Gators or if we're undefeated, we're going to get the nod before a team like Boise State. And I get it, their conference is weak and yada, yada. But still, it's just a bunch of malarkey. Unless I didn't go. Larry, are you an alumni of Rutgers, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm an alumni too, undergrad and law school. But here's my thing too.
That's a huge difference for somebody like you
yes.
that's invested. I get it totally. Yes. I didn't go to the University of Miami. Right. I mean, I just grew up down there, and I have friends that did go, and I have friends that, and just so I'm a huge supporter. But I mean, come on, man.
Well, that's why I say, bro, like to me, college football, they get a little bit out of hand with even caring about the playoff. Here's why I say that. There's too many schools, too many conferences, and not enough parity between all these different schools.
Right.
To have who cares who the one consensus national champion really is? Because you're competing against the nation, but really you're competing against like the 5 or 6 other powerhouse schools.
Period.
And that so just to me, it's like, I love the tailgate. I love to be with alumni. I like the rivalries, like beat rivalries, and then win a bowl game against a team that you have friends who are fans of or wherever across the country. Win a little trophy and chill. I think people put too much stock into the national championship game. Period. That's my thing, bro. I agree with you in that sense a lot, bro. I really do.
Go ahead, Greg. Brittany, thanks for showing up, Brittany. Wilma, should I say?
Don't like Alabama. That's why I'm upset. I hate Alabama. I wish it was Georgia, even though I hate Georgia. I just don't like Alabama. I hate Saban, what he did to us. That's why I don't like Alabama. But it's going to be a good game, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But with college, for me, right, I love the Cinderella stories. That's why I watched the March Madness. That's why I watched.
Well, basketball is different because you can play those games out and you see that's different.
But basketball is a sudden elimination.
Yeah, bro.
Have a March Madness where you
and everybody's there,
or you go home.
And and those teams are selected. They're all winning at a high level teams from across the country. Even though it's however many, 64? It's still winning teams. So it makes sense. Like nobody who had a chance is left out. Except Rutgers last year. But
even with college football, you got Rutgers taking on Ohio State. I root for Rutgers. Let's go. Beat Ohio State. Chaos in college football. But thank God next year it'll be a 12-team format. Hopefully there'll be more crying. If we're arguing about a 13-team getting in, I mean,
because the 12th team's going to get hammered anyway, to be honest with you.
And there'll be one group of 5 team, one of these group of 5 teams that get in and probably will get blown up by 60. It is what it is. We're giving the group of one of these group of 5 teams a shot. That's all I can ask for. I know they're probably going to lose every game, probably maybe by 50. Like Liberty this year. Liberty would be the 12th team. Liberty's not beating whoever they're playing. Sadly, they're going to get blown out. But thank God the 12-team format's here. It should have been this year. FSU, I'm sorry. I wish you guys weren't. I hate Alabama. But, it is what it is. College football. Portal,
nobody wants to see a third-string quarterback. They wouldn't be able to compete.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, Ohio State did the same thing, and when his playoff in the playoff game, they put a quarterback that never played in.
Yeah, it's Ohio State. And unfortunately, man, as much I'm from Florida. Listen, we don't have a national consensus.
Nice to meet you. I'm from Alabama.
Florida State.
I'm from Florida too. What's that to do with
I mean, but this
he's saying he's got sentiment for Florida, but he's still saying like, "Yo,
I mean, come on, man, it is what it is. We all know what it is.
I'm not saying this because I'm Florida.
College football is corny. Let's just call it what it is, man. It's corny. If you fall down, the play's over. You can't get up and make a great play. 1 foot in. There's just a whole bunch of stupid rules. I mean, college football to me is lame. Besides what Larry said for the camaraderie, that's all good, and I love it for that. Other than that, man, college football to me is just there's so many schools. The rankings are BS. The way they do it is BS. College basketball, you see, they have a format. March Madness is a huge thing. It's crushing. And football, we all know football is dominant in this country. Man, college, the March Madness it's a big ordeal because they have it's something where everybody has a chance. No matter what, you feel like your team has a chance. And they do, ultimately.
They do. Teams make runs.
They have a shot. There's Cinderella teams. There's real true Cinderella teams. You can't have a true Cinderella team in college football. The concessions won't allow it.
You can't.
They won't. I'm sorry. And when they do at times, you see like TCU and Boise State, a couple times they did let them in. What happens? They get their game smoked. It's not even worth. I mean, come on, man. History shows you get these Cinderella teams that come in. None of them ever show up and show out when they get a shot at the big dance. It's a waste of time. It's an Alabama beating them 48-6. It's a waste of time for everybody. So let's just call it what it is. I agree zero.
We just have to agree to disagree. That's
I like the college game in general, but I agree with you regarding the competitive. I do. I do. I don't care about the whole playoff. Yeah. I don't care, bro.
Florida State with a third-string quarterback is not beating Michigan or anybody else in that
right.
playoff.
I mean, I think he's right.
Not even close. It wouldn't even be a good game.
What, G?
Before I plug my next thing.
Well, they should have let it happen.
Back from Florida State was in concussion protocol. If Florida State did make it, I would assume he would probably clear in 2 weeks in time for the game for it. But it is what it is at this rate. If you want more college football, click that link.
Put it in the chat, G.
I put the wrong thing. Click the link I post. Me and my friend Dude, we're gonna do a podcast. We're gonna record it Friday. It'll be uploaded Saturday. I'll give you a sneak preview of what we're be talking about. We're gonna talk about the Army Navy game that will be happening on this Saturday upcoming. We'll talk about the college football committee. Did they get it right? Did they get it wrong? We'll preview the NFL. We'll talk some NBA, some college hoops, and whatnot. And then join us next Saturday or whenever we record it and I upload it. We'll be talking about all 41 bowl games. We'll talk about all bowl games, Rutgers, Miami. We'll talk about FSU, Georgia, the playoffs. We're basically
the shitty bowl Greg, so I can subscribe to your channel. Put the link in the chat.
I copied the wrong thing. But we'll talk about the shitty bowl games. We'll go quick because it's probably going to be it'll take forever. We preview all 40 in one. It's going to take forever. So for the shit bowls, we're going to give our quick thoughts and predictions. And then for like the big bowl games, like the playoffs, the New Year's Six, maybe he's an Oklahoma fan, so we'll probably go in depth in that game. And we'll preview the game. So those are going to be the first 2 episodes. And yeah, so let me go get the link. So I'll
get it. And while you're getting it, Shake, you got some memes for us or what?
Yeah, for sure. Let's start off with this beautiful meme right here.
Oh, what a meme that is. That's not even that's a monument. That's just beautiful. I don't know. That's just gorgeous. I mean, I think that is gorgeous. That's what I think that is.
And by the way, speaking of which, what we were talking about.
Yep, I saw that. That's a fair meme, bro. That's fair. That's fair. That's a funny one. That's fair, bro.
I posted the link. What you got to do is click on it, highlight it, Command C it, and then type it in your web browser, and it's gonna bring you, I think, right to the page. Hopefully, actually, never mind. I uploaded the wrong link.
Gee,
this is just a random meme. Look, a real goat versus a Mickey Mouse goat.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I like who did that. That's good. Especially because he's standing on the bull.
By the way,
I saw that. I saw that too. What does it say
by
about?
The way, being that the seasons, a lot of quarterbacks are looking for new teams. Well, apparently, so is whatchamacallit, Mac Jones. Apparently, he's looking for a new team. So if you're looking for a house to buy.
Well, hey, it's Mac Jones here, ready to throw an interception or you a new home. You pick. Bailey Zappi here. I just sold him his trailer that he just bought out when he retired to Montana.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you're looking for a home. And finally.
Oh, yeah. Serving up them 45 burgers.
Excuse me. Hold on.
Oh, Shake. What you got? You got the. Woo!
Thank you, McDaniel.
Oh, yeah. That's a new wrinkle. I didn't see that coming, bro. That's good stuff right there. Bro, I like that. I like that. Washing it down. Ooh, this is a victory Tuesday if I ever saw one. I love
that
this
40
bro.
burger. It tastes so delicious.
Oh yeah, I love it. Anytime we get a 40 burger, man, I get hyped. I had to almost go out and get myself a 40 burger today. I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna do it Friday now. I'm gonna
Shout out
do
to
it
my
Friday.
man,
I'm gonna
CB
send you
by the way.
CB. What up, man?
Yeah, good.
I'm-
Thanks for wasting our time putting that up there. Your first string quarterback ain't playing. Second string, third string, whoever's playing, you're getting your game smoked against any one of them other 3 teams in there. Miss me with any other kind of excuse, man. Maybe if you had your first string quarterback, you'd have a shot. I mean, but really, ultimately, you wouldn't, man. You'd get smoked by anybody that's in there.
I just want to point out that
It just is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's college football.
Yeah.
You might be an FSU fan, so you'll be delusional, just like I'll be.
There we
A
go.
Dolphins fan, no matter who we play, you'll never hear me say we're going to lose. And we could have all our players injured, and we'll be going to play the greatest team in the NFL. And you won't. I'll make you believe that we have a shot in winning.
Well, he
That's what
definitely
you're
ain't
doing,
whooping
and that's
Michigan.
what the rest of the FSU fans are doing. I have zero sympathy.
There you go.
You know, screw Florida State.
That's
just
definitely-
me, personally.
Definitely ain't
Oh,
whooping
yeah.
Michigan.
Listen,
But here you got
somebody
G
who's
looking
in a
for
row
his link.
will do that to you.
You got G sipping tears of various fan bases collected from the North
Sip
American
them FSU
continent.
Florida State fan tears.
Yeah,
That
you
didn't
got
make it.
you got
Greg,
Lucci
yeah.
just going off on FSU people, and you got Shake casually enjoying a 40 burger.
Mhm.
You know, and this is a great Tuesday. I mean, what else do you want on a Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen? Hit subscribe. If you're not subscribing after this smorgasbord of content, what the hell are you doing?
Michigan,
What
this
are
guy's
you doing?
delusional.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't.
Yeah, he's delusional.
So,
But if I could, Larry, let me just give my quick.
I wish they would Michigan because I can't stand Michigan. No offense, G, but I can't stand Michigan. I can't stand Harbaugh. But I wish they would, but I don't think so.
I'm just a Jim
They
Harbaugh
did.
fan. That's about it. Because I just love the story there, but I'm not a diehard Michigan fan.
Got you.
I wanted Rutgers to beat Michigan. I thought
know.
that was cool.
Barely beat the
I like
Hurricanes.
chaos.
I know. Hey, we had that opening touchdown. Refs were sure as hell not helping us out.
Barely
What else
beat the
is there?
Hurricanes with a second with a guy that it might as well have been. He was our second string quarterback, and you were struggling to win that. And then you had
That quarterback was
Tyler
way
Van
better
Dyke
than
come in and
Van Dyke.
almost run it down. Get out of here, man. But if I could, just my brief synopsis on the Miami.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
Let me
let's
get
talk
into that real quick.
Let's talk about it.
I agree with you on a lot. Mike McDaniel, I'm proud that he's been sticking to the run. And I'm just going to stick to this half of the season. Let's get away from the first half of the season, the adjustments. He's made the adjustments, man, to stick to the run. Things are looking good. What I don't like is at the end of that game, at first I was saying Achane shouldn't be in there. That's what I was saying watching the game.
Yeah, I agree.
After I thought about it, though, Larry, I said, you know what, man? This is a couple of days. You know, you say everything I say everything. I'm emotional. I'll speak what's on my mind at the moment. Sometimes when you have time to reflect, I'd rather run Achane. Go ahead, let him and don't risk Wilson getting hurt, because I think, to me, Mostert is the guy. Mostert can.
Well,
he can hit them holes. Listen, Mostert can do pretty much everything Achane can do, and some stuff Wilson can do. But Wilson, like you said, man, is a power guy. Wilson can hit them holes hard. He can get them hard-fought yards. Wilson does something, I think, way better than Achane or Mostert. Mostert can run hard too, but I think Wilson is he's a little bit better. So that thunder and lightning kind of tandem, I'd rather have, if somebody had to go down and we had only 2 running backs, I'll take Mostert and Wilson instead of Mostert and Achane, because Mostert and Achane have similar running styles. Achane, he's not built to be a bruiser. He might be a little guy. Listen, he's not like Maurice Jones-Drew. He's not a little guy bruiser like that. He's going to get broke up. And if it comes down to the playoffs where we need some hard-fought yards and we need the guy to go in there and do the dirty running, I think Wilson is a better fit for that. So after hindsight, I feel like, man, it's cool. Let Achane running and keep Wilson. And I think maybe Mike McDaniel might have thought the same thing, and that's why he had Achane in there. Just saying.
It could be. I just think that Achane brings an element to the offense, when he gets touches that no one else in the league has, as far as his speed and quick. Now, Mostert to me is by far the guy. He's the starter. He's the number one. That's why he was out, and he should have been. He ain't getting touch at the end of the game. He's the number one. Period. I love Wilson too. I just think he's a little more durable. I do think Achane gives you this element that you could have like a Tyreek, and I'm not comparing him to Tyreek.
No, for sure.
But like a Tyreek element, a wrinkle in the backfield where he could just a big play, like a touchdown, like a cheat code. That's all. But I agree. Bro, I don't want to go in with Wilson hurt either. I love Wilson. I think Wilson going in with all three of them to the playoffs
would be nice.
Yeah, bro. And I'm with you on Mostert, bro. And you've been, to your credit, you've been talking this way about Mostert for 2 years. I completely agree with you.
It's nice, man.
I love that dude.
I'm glad he's finally getting his recognition.
Agreed.
Because he's been in the league a long time, bro. So, and for me personally, sometimes I look at things as more of a person's character.
Yeah.
Yo, this guy's been on how many? He's in the league. I saw a meme. I'm sure Shake saw it, man. I wish he had it. I almost said, "We'll pull this up," because Shake's is good at that. Man, he's 3 years older than Gurley, than this one and that one. They name all these highlight running backs that he's older than. This guy was on so many practice squads. He never gave up. He never let it sink and now when he's getting a shot, it shows his his fortitude, man. And that's the kind of people you want on your team. Guys that don't give up. And it's nice to see him get his
next time, send it to me.
Oh, okay, I will. But it's really cool to see somebody that doesn't give up, man.
I agree.
It's relatable to me and a lot of other people in life, man. When you just, you keep fighting and your time will come. And as long as you stay prepared, and he's a shining example of what everybody should be in the league or in life, period, man. You just keep fighting and you'll get your shot and stay ready so it ain't no getting ready, like Marshawn Lynch said.
I love
he's that guy.
He's like 32 years old, bro.
McDaniel this week, when we're that late in the game, and I mean we're beating these people down. It's over. And it's a 4th down. And we're on like the 30-yard line. And even it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, whatever. Well, kick the field goal, man. To me personally, listen, maybe if it was the Bills and we want to run it down the throat, it's a 4-possession game at this point. A 4-possession game. And there's like a minute, 2 minutes left in the game. And you're still going for the first. And you got Achane running for the first, where so many mishaps could happen. So many bad things could happen. And it's like, kick the field goal. And then he's over there smiling. When we didn't get the first down, he goes for it again. We get it. And then we get in another situation. He goes for it again. It's like, you're kind of that worries me, man.
So that I agree with you on Achane being in there running for it. But
they don't have nothing for us.
Yes, but I remember feeling this way like years ago about somebody going for it on 4th down because I thought they were trying to be disrespectful and run the score up. And what I was told, it kind of makes sense, is like kicking the field goals was disrespectful. Now you're adding points that you're going to get guaranteed. Like if we go for it on 4th, we're kind of giving you a chance to stop us forward. But if we kick the field goal and then kick it back to you again, like, we're about to pile more points. Okay. I don't know what's right, but that's how I took that. That's all.
At this point in the game, we're talking there was 2 minutes left, maybe under 2 minutes.
Because did we score or we not score?
We did score.
Yeah,
listen, we got to a 4th down. They haven't. First of all, I could see that, Larry, and I could understand it would be situational. Listen, there's 0 chance of them coming back at this point. 0 chance.
No, yeah, of course.
You kick the field goal. And you let them end it after that. Look, man, we don't want to keep piling on points on you. Kick the field goal. Okay, so I could see if what you said, the first 4th down, we do it. They can't stop us. Okay, it's painfully obvious you ain't going to stop us. So what we're going to do is, look, we're going to kick this field goal, let you get the ball, let you run, a couple of light runs. This way nobody gets hurt. It's a mutual understanding.
Right.
There's some guys out there that are going to have the attitude like, I'm playing for a contract.
I was worried about that. I'm telling you. That's why I was worried about Achane.
Who's missed 6 games already. Like, what are you even doing?
No, I didn't like the Achane.
I mean, come on, man. So screw what anybody thinks of piling them points. I'm not going to put my guy out here who's injury prone this season anyways. I mean, let's call it what it is. He's missed 6 games. He's missed more games than he's played. I'm not going to have my guy out here to get hurt because we have playoff aspirations. Y'all don't. So, I mean, and this is like, come on, for the betterment. It's just for the well-being of your team. In the ultimate picture, screw what people. I mean, it's the right thing to do. Get your offense off the field, put the defense on there, and put everybody's second string on defense. We don't have to push. We're not going to be playing like that. You know what I mean? We've already won the game. I didn't like that. And I didn't like the smirk on his face when he was doing it. If it was, like you said, Larry, in good taste, you don't be over there smiling. It was just corny to me, man. I don't like Mike McDaniel.
I know you don't. I was just gonna say you just don't like Mike McDaniel.
Man. I don't like Mike McDaniel.
You don't like McDaniel.
He's a cornball, man. I don't watch Hard Knocks. To me, that's stupid. You're giving up. You're showing the inside look to us for everybody else to see how we get down.
I would say watch it because you will get a different view of him if you watch it. That's all I'm going to say.
I heard what you said, and the way he talked to players isn't as corny as he is.
Not at all.
How we see him. And I appreciated that. I was like, okay, cool. I'll just take your word for it, Larry.
Gotcha.
I won't watch it. And any other team that's ever had it, they get injuries. Any other team that's ever had it, I'm Italian, so I'm a superstitious guy. Any other team that's ever had it, they do terrible. Whoever did good when they did Hard Knocks. Who they have on Hard Knocks that was successful?
It's like the Madden curse.
I'm telling you, Shakes. I'm Italian. We're superstitious people.
That's why Tua doesn't watch it. Tua doesn't watch it. Tua doesn't. He says he refuses to watch.
You know what? We got the Manning curse now. He's on the Manning cast last night, so we got.
I know. He was playing that guitar. How about that? You see that? He was smooth as hell on that guitar. First, he was like kind of awkward, and then he got into it, and then he was strumming that, playing the Eric Clapton. Man, that was dope. Not gonna lie, he looked at ease. He was chilling. Jets fans were crying about that too today on the radio because they were just upset. They're like, "Look at Tua, he's strumming his guitar, not a care in the world, and we cut Boyle, and Zach doesn't want to play."
Guitar or is it the ukulele? Yeah. Which one is it?
It was that one was a guitar, I think, bro.
Ukulele.
I think he plays. They were saying that. They were talking about how, he plays ukulele too. Oh, he was just chilling. He was having such a good time. And meanwhile, we're cutting Boyle and Trevor Siemian. And now, who's this dude the Jets just picked up, bro?
Buck Rippin, I think.
Yeah, Rippin. He's on the team now.
Rippin' ass.
Let it rip.
Rippin'
ass.
Let it rip.
Rippin' ass with the New York Jets. Tyler version. Rippin'
ass.
I
just want to say this to Adam Sadowski, if you're still here, Adam. But I got an orange parking pass for the Buffalo game. So we'll be pulling up on East 12 and we'll have a whole section. So if you don't, I know the tickets are $300, whatever a game. But bro, I might not even go in a game. I told Shakes a million times, I don't really like watching the games in the stadium. I can't get my full attention to the game. I just like doing it sometimes, like to support the noise and this and that. But really, man, I don't like watching the game. So what I did is I got the orange parking pass. I may or may not go into the game. Dylan's coming with me and a friend of mine, Melanie. I'm sure they're going to go in. But we're just going to watch it in the parking lot. We'll be in orange section, East 12, where I met you last time, and Larry and Shakes, where we were all hanging out. We'll have our own spot on East 12. We'll be grilling. And me and my cousin Giovanni were saying, well, we'll just – the money we would spend on, they're talking $300 a ticket, nosebleed, where you need an oxygen mask. I mean, I can afford the ticket, but what the hell am I going to spend that? The last time I spent $300 on a ticket, you know where we sat? In the touchdown club on the field. Now they have recliner seats. We were there before they had those. On the field, in the end of the end zone, I spent $300. I'm going to spend it for a nosebleed for a game that might not even matter. Forget about it. I won't spend my money. Like me and my cousin said, we'll spend the money on some drinks, and some food, and we'll just hang out the whole time there. I mean,
it makes sense, bro. I can't wait for this playoff game because I know where we're going. I'm going in, but the
you
playoff
go,
game should
I
be
go.
fun.
And if listen, you want to get an orange parking pass, I'll go in with you because it'll be expensive for a playoff game.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at all that stuff because I know
I'll
the
split it with
tickets
you.
are going to be expensive too because it's
Tickets
a
are
playoff
going to be
game.
everything.
So
Yeah.
I already saw like the email that went out to season ticket holders, so I'm bracing for that. But I'm hyped about it. But again, I'm not counting my chicken. So anybody out there in the media sphere, the karma sphere, the football gods, the football god, hard knock curse, Madden curse gods, stay away from me because I'm superstitious too. I got my horn right here, and it's with a shamrock. All right, bro. And
That's
so,
it. You know what you're doing.
I am not counting any chickens. I'm waiting to play Tennessee, and that's that. But
that's
if
one more thing I wanted to touch on that you said. Listen, I know I'm always people come on and I might seem like a pessimist. Listen, I'm just a realist, and I've been a Dolphin, like Larry says. I've been a Dolphin fan my whole life, so I know what it's like to get my hopes up and to get disappointed. And I'm not sold 100% on the coaching and the quarterback either, really. That just is what it is. But I will say this to the defense of both of those guys. I can't remember the last time I saw a schedule and I see a team on the schedule and I suck my teeth like, that's easy work. And this weekend, I was telling Dylan's dad, like, man, it's Washington. And he's like, bro, never on some Larry type of time. Man, bro, it's Washington. And get out of here. I feel the same way about Tennessee. Easy work. Monday night, who cares? Monday night. I don't care if it was a Tuesday night in Okinawa. It's the Tennessee Titans, man. They're terrible. They're terrible. You know what I mean? They're terrible. We're not losing to these people. Then I give that credit to Mike McDaniel and to Tua Tagovailoa. I can't tell you the last time that I was able to say that. I don't care. I'll count mine. I'm not counting the Baltimore game. I'm not counting the Buffalo game. I'm not counting the Dallas game. Those are the ones that I'll be sweating like, okay, this is a game. Let's see what happens. In Tennessee, practice. Sorry. If Tennessee was up for the college football playoffs, they wouldn't have made it. They'd be where Florida State is. That's it. And the rest of the teams on his schedule, besides Baltimore, Buffalo, and Dallas.
If you're in here and you haven't subscribed yet, you're a problem. Hit subscribe. G, what's up? Tell them, G, to hit subscribe because I don't know why they're sitting here not clicking subscribe. Click subscribe, bro.
If you don't click the subscribe button, the Dolphins will lose to Titans. Anyway, I've been finding most of the Dolphins game this year. I've been on my phone than watching the game. I'll look up, touchdown, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And then when we play like teams like the Bills, the Chiefs, and Eagles, I'm like off my phone, screaming out of my mind.
Yeah, I'm screaming out of my mind most games. Even the games were supposed to make easy work. I still scream. I was screaming when Baker went down. I was screaming when they scored a touchdown. I was so mad.
The game sucking my teeth.
We're
losing our voice. Me and Dylan and the rest of them.
Yeah. I got you.
But I'm saying I don't go into that game sweating.
Yeah, I get it.
Carolina's the first game that I realized, self-conscious, like, dang, we went down 14-0.
I wasn't worried in that game either.
Me neither. And I was like, see, and that's when I recognized, because everybody in the garage was like, and I was like, bro, it's Carolina, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that game was interesting. 14-0.
After that, I realized, we're really taking out the trash. We are taking out the trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if we get to the playoffs, just based on taking out the trash alone, that's letting you know what's going to happen when we get in the playoffs.
Right.
That's my concern. I need to see, a formidable opponent and get a win, even if it's a struggling win, whatever. Bro, we haven't fared well against any of these people. In Kansas City, they say, oh, we shut them down in the second half. Bro, they went 3 weeks in a row not scoring in the second half. That has zero to do with the Miami Dolphins. That's more to do with the Kansas City organization. So
what on earth was that, G?
Any of that?
Yeah, I hear you. G, what is going on? Is that you? Is that Shake? Shake, is that your sound effects there?
No.
No, so he's what are you doing over there?
I got my screen open here.
Oh my God. But anyway, listen, I'm worried about KC in KC. That's why I think that this home field advantage is one thing. Playoff seeding in general is big, in my opinion, because any of these places Sands and Jacksonville's a tough place to play because the crowd's into it. But I mean, I'm not worried about the weather, even though it gets cooler there than it does in Miami. I'm just saying, KC, Baltimore, man, I'm not trying to go there for a playoff game. I'm just not. And by the way, I know people aren't going to want to hear this, but I don't really feel like playing Buffalo in the playoffs, man. I hope they're done.
Yeah.
I hope they're out, man. I don't feel like playing them here. I don't want to see them. And I don't want to see him 2 weeks in a row. And I don't want to see him with 1 week in between. And I don't want to see Josh Allen. I don't want to see any of it. I don't want to see Stephon Diggs. I don't want to see his face. I don't want to see his antics. I don't want to see it. I want to see roller coasters without him.
It's up to us. We can make that happen. As of right now, our destiny is in our own hands.
We're in the driver's seat.
Straight, yes, Shakes. Now, listen, granted, if Baltimore wins next week, they'll be number one. We're number one, and that's it. If we win out, we're number one. End of story.
No, I agree.
Okay, so let's see that happen. Let's see.
By the way, we dropped the link. Y'all could come up, man. Come on up, man. Hit the link. Y'all got something to say? We do one at a time, but come on up. And by the way, if CB's still in the building, the Dolphins are doing a Miami Dolphins roundtable. He's going to be one of the panelists. Him, Dudley Durong, and a couple other people.
Who's doing that?
We're going to have special guest panelists on Fridays.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just know the only since this new regime, and even out of this new regime, since Tua Tagovailoa has been the quarterback, when our destiny's in our own hands, we fold. Period.
That's why I was happy.
We folded with Tannehill. We folded with every.
That's why I'm happy about that Commanders game. That's all I'm saying. Crap weather. He still
lost. Hold on. We're not going to do that. Let's not do that.
Yes, we are going to do that.
Let's not go back to the past. Listen, and I guess
no, because all that you're saying is irrelevant,
we're not
bro.
doing that, man. I get so
that's irrelevant, bro. What you're saying?
We're talking about today's team, man. We're talking about today's team. We're not talking about Tannehill.
Okay, so then stop talking about what Tua has done in the past. Let's focus on today.
Bro?
So what?
That was 15 years
so let's
ago.
talk about now then.
Can we talk about now since Tua has been the quarterback? Can we just
so what?
That, please?
At the end of the day, it's the team. It was a team. It wasn't just him.
Gus Freyatt. Don't bring up Jay Fiedler.
It wasn't just him, bro. It was a team.
It's
a team thing. How come when we win, it's a team, but when we lose, it's all him?
Bro, that's both ways too.
Did you watch that game against
people
Tennessee?
Do that too.
Hold on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Did you watch that game against Tennessee?
Those third string running back run all over that defense. Did you see that,
bro? Can we talk about the Tennessee game Larry brought up earlier? Do you want to bring up Tua's stats in that game? Because we had to win to get in.
You want to bring up the defensive stats on that game too?
Maron, are we talking about Tua or the team?
That's what we're talking about. The team. Tua ain't gonna win by himself. Let me tell you where
stats don't matter. I'm gonna tell you where stats don't matter. That a lot of people get confused. This is where it don't matter. People want to say, look at the defense. Look at how much the defense. Look at the yards defense gave up. Look at what people don't want to bring up is how many 4 and outs or 3 and outs rather we went. We had the defense show the amount of time the defense was on the field. They were holding their own until they got tired. Bro, this isn't Drago. All right? This isn't a machine.
So you think it was a good idea? You think it was a good idea when it's waiting to throw the ball?
They get tired, bro. When you're 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Okay, it was Tua's fault.
And the defense is on the field the entire game, they're going to get tired.
That's what you're bringing up. So all of a sudden, we haven't played the game yet. Then you're putting everything on Tua now.
The defense was fighting until they got tired. The defense played spectacular until they got tired. The defense might even get some interceptions or some turnovers and get the offense the ball back.
Yeah.
And they go 3 and out right away again. It is what it is, man. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest, bro. In the game that matters, I've yet to see the guy show up. Here we got a guy. Here we got a guy. He just went on the road last night. Shout out to Dylan. He ain't on here no more. Dylan won the football pool this week. He had 1 loss. This guy picked Carolina. This guy picked Green Bay. And this guy picked Cincinnati. And me and his father called him a dumbass the whole day. Like, bro, The 1 o'clock game's on by, he's undefeated. He's like, boy, look, we're like, undefeated, bro. You pick these other losers. You're going to lose. He picked them. Cincinnati last night. I don't even know this guy's name. Man, this guy went
Jake Browning.
30. What's his name? Greg?
Browning.
Jake Browning.
David Browning. What a guy.
Let me give you an example. Now, I know the book ain't out on Browning because none of us know who he is except for Greg.
Because Greg knows every damn thing. And check out his sports podcast as he's talking about every bowl game. I'm listening.
Okay.
This dude knows his stuff.
Larry,
okay, so hear me out. Hold on, Shakes. Let me finish. I'll take 2 seconds. So this guy comes in. The book ain't out on him, whatever. But this guy comes in. He goes into Jacksonville. He's got a lot on his plate. This is a big game. This is the part of the season where pretty much every game counts. He's got a lot of pressure. He's Joe Burrow's replacement. He's got a lot of pressure. You got all the tools. You had no reason not to succeed. Man, I looked at his stats earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This guy went, he had 5 incomplete passes. I don't remember what it was. He threw the ball 30 some odd times, high 30s, 5 incomplete passes, 347 yards, and a touchdown. On the road in Jacksonville. I mean,
that game had no implications on it either.
No implications.
At the end of the day, you're talking about a quarterback
this is so disappointing to hear it from you, bro.
Hey,
listen, I'll tell you this.
Hear from you.
I've been saying this from since jump, bro.
What do you mean no implications?
All I'm saying is this. It's a show me season. He faltered down the stretch in previous seasons. I think this December game against the Commanders in bad weather was the first step towards showing us, but he's got it all in front of him. Let's see if he can do it. I was encouraged by what I saw on Sunday. But we got Big Nick South Florida Accountability Office in here. He's from the Office of Ways and Measures, the Office of South Florida Accountability. If you don't get right, Big Nick's going to smack you. You know what I'm saying? And he's in the building. We want to see what he says. But, G, what do you got to say real quick?
Not only what about every bowl game, I'm also going to bet every bowl game.
That's degenerate behavior, Greg. Now, Big Nick, what you got to say?
I'm trying to catch up, man. I came on and I saw Shake and I saw Larry K and I said, let me go be on with these legends, man. So I'm trying to catch up with the conversation to see what Shake and
what they're arguing about. I'm gonna fill you in and I want to hear your take. You jump right into the fray, man. We got Lucci saying that every time Tua had a primetime game where it was meaningful down the stretch, where we needed the game for the playoff implications, he has struggled. He hasn't come through. Shake is saying, there's a whole team to this thing, and at the end of the day, they didn't come through either. So where do you stand, Big Nick?
Well, first of all, I would say, how many primetime games have the Miami Dolphins been in for him to make that assessment? I mean, how many big state games the Miami Dolphins has been in? When they had opportunity for high state games last year, our quarterback was coming off his second major concussion. The offensive line was beat up. The secondary was beat up. So, to put it all on Tua is absolute, to me, is crazy. But I go back and say, how many big time games have the Miami Dolphins been in?
Right. Lucci, what you saying? And Shake, too. What do you think? I say Tennessee was a big one. San Fran.
One thing I want to say is, at the end of the day, we have to give him a chance to fix, these opportunities. Just because you failed in previous times doesn't mean you're automatically gonna fail this time around.
Yeah. So I look at it like this. I look at the number one high school recruit coming out of high school. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a guy that the entire league was willing to tank for before he dislocated his hip. I'm looking at a guy that came in way too early, took over a team, and led the NFL and completed passes in his first year in an offense that was not designed for him, that was not ever going to be designed for him, because we thought we had a good enough team with Ryan Fitzpatrick and along with Chan Gailey, but he came in and he did that. Then I can't just see a kid come in and prove every year, especially on his accuracy and his leadership toward the team, to get that derailed by Jesse Davis, to get his ribs cracked. I mean, it's just been unfortunate situations. But for you to sit up there and say Tua, or if he's saying that Tua is not a top 10 quarterback in this NFL, then I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I don't know. He stepped away. I don't know if he's saying it now, like this season, or if he was just saying in previous big moments,
Yeah, I mean,
he really hasn't followed through.
Then that's empty
One
calorie
thing I want to bring up
conversation.
real quick is you look at Elway. He was 0-3 in Super Bowls, and then he won his last 2. I mean, there's quarterbacks
That's true, bro.
who failed many times in big moments, but they got their chance to redeem themselves. And I think this is the year that Tua redeems himself.
I think Marino was like 1-4. Marino was like 1-4 in championship games.
He was, bro. He only got to 1 Super Bowl. That's where I think a lot of our pessimism as Dolphins fans. That's why I'm not counting any chickens this year, because I'd seen too many really good Dolphins teams throughout my life not make it at the end because we struggled down the stretch, even with Marino. And that he had a bad defense. He didn't have a running game, but it still sucked, man. It sucked to watch. That's why I never count my chickens before they hatch. But go ahead and ask your question to Lucci because he's back now.
I heard him. I was watching on my phone.
Okay.
Listen. It's tiring, bro, to even keep going back and forth with people like my guy Big Nick and anybody else who wants to.
Then why continue to do it?
Because you came up on the show. Now hold on, you had your chance to talk, so I'm going to go ahead and answer to your question. I keep doing it because people like you keep bringing it up, but I'm gonna do it. So here we go with he was injured last year. This, that, the next thing. Okay, cool. Anybody who watched, and I don't put it all on Tua. I put a huge hunk of this on Mike McDaniel last season. Tua came back to play. The Pittsburgh game, let's call it what it is, man. This man, I challenge any to go back and watch that game. Bro, there was about 5 interceptions thrown directly to the Pittsburgh players that just dropped them. 5. We won that game. We got off easy. We won that game. Any other game we played, man, San Francisco 49ers. Tua came out. He looked good. Tua looked good. Listen, we lost that game. Name anybody else formidable that he showed up and played that's last season and the second part of the season that he played good. You can't.
See,
hold
that's
on,
a trick question.
I ain't done yet.
Well, let him
No
finish real
offense,
quick,
no
Nick.
offense.
Nick, and then you
no
come
chance
back.
to
You
talk.
come back, Nick.
I ain't interrupt you, Big Nick. So let me finish.
I thought you was done. My bad.
Green Bay, he ruined my Christmas. I mean, if you a Dolphins fan, he ruined your Christmas too. People could say, man, he might have had a concussion. He hit his head. He whatever. Well, guess what, man? Tua knew he was. If that's the case, Tua knew he was messed up and should have said, man, I'm not feeling right. I made a whole video about this. I'm not feeling right, man. Take me out because I can't. My depth perception's all messed up. After the game, he admitted, but I don't remember a lot of it. I don't remember. So when this is happening, bro, you don't know what's happening. Why are you continuing to stay in there? Okay, but we'll just call it what it is. He blew that game. What game did he win that he played against a formidable opponent last year in the later part of the season? 0. None. Prior to that, let's all blame it on, and I'm not a Flores guy. I don't like Flores. I don't like his character. I don't like his personality. He's a good defensive coordinator. He wasn't a great head coach. He's not a leader of men, in my opinion. Blame it on him. The Tennessee game. We played Buffalo maybe the season before or the season after that. I think it was the season before. We got smoked by Buffalo, destroyed by Buffalo. Man, when it comes to these big games, man, he folds. He don't show up. Now, everybody can say, it's not all on Tua. It's a team game. But you same jive turkeys that claim that when we have a game where Tua plays good, it's all Tua. Praise be to Tua. Glory, hallelujah. Praise be to Tua. It's always praise be to Tua when it's good, but when it's bad, it's a team game. And it's just, for me, that's just not what it is, man. Certain quarterbacks,
heard me say that.
expect him to show up. Listen, he don't got to show up and be the savior every big game. I'm not saying that. But don't show up and blow the game either. And I'm going to tell you this. See, I wasn't going to be like this, but now you done brought it out of me. This game against Washington, that first pass to Tyreek, yeah, it was nice. Let me tell you something. Tyreek is the MVP of the team. That first dime, that wasn't a damn dime he threw to Tua, wasn't a dime. Tyreek had to stop and go back and reach down to the ground and get it and get up and run again. If he wasn't so fast, he gets caught.
But if it was Tannehill, he wouldn't even caught it.
The second pass, Tua threw that junk up. Let me tell you something. I played football, and I'm fast. And I know what it's like.
Okay, you gotta let them address your points. You can't go into a story because you want to address your points. We're gonna forget your points. You can't go off into a tangent.
Looking over this way and notice the ball was over there.
No, that's not how you do it.
You know how hard that is.
Hold on. Time out. So you made the points. I'm gonna let Nick address it, but I will say this about that second pass. Okay. Tyreek came back and said that he watched the film and actually threw it where it needed to go. But go ahead. Now go ahead, Nick. Then I'm gonna let Lucci go again. I just want to make sure everybody gets to go back and forth here.
All right. So let's go to the Pittsburgh. Let's touch on that. The Pittsburgh game, a game that we won, by the way. I want to ask Anthony, who was the all-time leader in NFL history in almost interceptions?
Man, we're talking about Tua Tagovailoa. Let's stick to that. That's what y'all always do, man. Is
right. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out all of those. Wait.
No, let him.
Wait, Anthony, wait. I didn't interrupt you. I'm just asking you a question. If you don't know, you don't know. I'm trying to figure out where does Tua rank in the history of the NFL for throwing almost interceptions. Where does he rank in that category?
What I'm saying, though, this is how these bro. This is how they act.
If you can't answer that question,
go on to your next point. Let's go to your next point.
But you didn't answer that point. You didn't answer that question,
man. Who cares about almost, man? Okay,
you do. You brought it up.
But Nick, but you would still concede that Tua didn't have a great game against Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I would concede that, but I also concede that Tua made the throws that need to be made against Pittsburgh too.
Okay, fair enough.
Right. Would you concede that? He made the plays that needed to be made.
So according to you, we won that game because of Tua's play.
No, he's just saying he threw enough to win the game. Would you concede that?
So,
moving forward.
So next point, right? I'm 53 years old. I've been an athlete all my life. I played high school football as a quarterback, but my main sport is basketball. I've never been injured in my life outside of basketball, ever in my life. I've never had any injuries outside of basketball in my life. I've been concussed about 3 times in my life. During my concussion, I didn't know I was concussed. Have you ever been concussed?
I haven't.
You haven't. So for you blaming Tua for not knowing he was concussed, that's a little above your pay grade. You shouldn't do that. You're not a medical expert.
Hold on. How do you know that?
Because if it's not above your pay grade, then you have no idea that people have no idea that they're concussed until after their effects.
So let me tell you this. You play basketball. I boxed. So how are you telling me I don't know about concussions? I play football and I box.
I just asked you, have you ever been concussed? You said no.
I said no.
Oh, you said no.
Have you been concussed?
Listen, Anthony, we don't have to argue. Anthony, this is an argument we don't have to have. This is an argument. Wait.
Have you been?
We don't have to argue. We don't have to have this argument. We don't have to have this argument. You didn't say it. You didn't say it.
Stick to the
You didn't say it. We don't have to have that argument. You didn't say it.
Let's go to 2.
All right. All right. Next, you can't name a game where you can sit up there and say Tua blew that game for us. You want me to tell you why?
Green Bay.
I can't name you.
Green Bay, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Let me make my point. Let me make my point.
You done made your point.
Well, let him finish and then Lucci and
he about to cook me.
And
he
then
just said Tua never blew a game.
And then you name the games. Let him finish and then name the games because we can name the games.
Okay, but I'm saying,
wait a minute, Larry K. All right. What was the final score? Green Bay, Miami. What was the final score?
Man, the final score was every damn interception Tua threw blew the game. We had that game under wraps.
What was the final score?
Gave it and gift wrapped it and threw it away.
What was the final score?
Be free, don't do it.
What was the final score?
Because I can't call it off the top of my head. I'm gonna do your research for you, Jai Turkey. So you come up here
to me,
I'll do your fact reading for you, man. Go ahead.
To me, for one player to lose the game. For one player to lose the game, it has to be within the margin of 6 points. 6 points. If that margin is more than 6 points, then you can't put it on one individual player.
And this man threw how many interceptions? 3. And a lot of them we were in the red. What are you even talking about? This is how delusional some of y'all Tua fans are.
No, man. Look, my name is Big Nick, South Florida Accountability. I believe in accountability for all. What you're doing, you're so fixated. You're so fixated to prove your point.
If you try to justify the Green Bay game,
we can't debate like this, Larry.
No, you guys got to wait. Hold on. Let me tell. So, look, my take on this whole conversation too is I get it. You know, you can't put every game you lost in that, but I forget who won and lost the game. How about that? Tua struggled previously in certain games down the stretch. We agree. However, we know he can succeed going forward, and he's played really at a really high level this year, and he played at a high level against the Commanders, in my opinion, and that's a good way to start it off. However, we want to see him have that game against the Chiefs. Well, I mean, we're going to need to see him have those games in the playoffs, right? Yeah. And
Let
Nick,
me give you an example.
Yeah, go ahead.
A quick example as to what I mean. You remember 2 years ago we lost to Atlanta? We lost to Atlanta Falcons.
I think so. I don't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember the game.
Yeah, it was the London game, I think it was. Was it the London? Yeah, I think it was the London game, wasn't it?
Was it a London game?
No, it was the Atlanta game in Atlanta. That's the game
No, Jacksonville was London. My bad. Jacksonville was London.
Yeah.
That was the game Kyle Pitts came alive in the second half and pretty much beat us by itself.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Tua threw a late interception in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Tua came back, gave the Dolphins a lead with 3 minutes to go in the game, maybe under 3 minutes to go in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We lost the game because the defense couldn't hold Atlanta, who was a terrible team at the time. You know what the narrative was? You know what the narrative was the next day? 2 interceptions blew the game.
Yeah, I think
nobody brings up the point that he got the ball back and he gave the defense a lead again.
I think, I think you get either side of this debate. That here's what bothers me, bro. Like either side of this debate, like you get people where if you win a game, like they're just pointing at, you know, the quarterback rating, this and that. But then when 2 is 3 in quarterback rating, they don't want to look at it anymore. But then on the other side, to your point, Nick, he gets the ball, he gets a score, and the defense can't make a stop, and it's still his fault to the Tua haters. And bro, I got people going back and digging up old videos of mine, like, oh, you were critical of Tua. Haha. It's like, when are we gonna stop having this debate? Because at this point, this dude is at this point, whether what our take was, like my take was wrong, that I was skeptical of him. The dude's a top 5 quarterback in this league.
Bro, you weren't wrong, man.
But he still has struggles down the stretch. And until he proves me and shows me that he could succeed in the big games and win a chip, then that's a concern, and I still have it. But he is a top quarterback in the league.
Larry K.
And by the way, just for the record,
will he win? I don't know.
And just for the record, whenever we did win, I have never put all the praise on Tua, and I never put all the blame on Tua.
But I still want to see him win the chip and come through. He didn't come through the last drive against KC.
So I'm not going to ask, right? Because I don't want. I'm just going to say straight up. I believe people on this panel right here would take Josh Allen right now over Tua. Right? I do believe that. And
Josh Allen ain't better than Tua. Josh Allen folds in the big time games too.
I wouldn't take Josh not right now.
Who are you referring to, Jive Turkey? Say
it. Hold on, we're gonna do one at a time. One at a time.
Call it what you want to call it. Don't shoot subliminals. If you ain't gonna be no stand-up guy, man, say what you mean and say it.
Anthony. We having a debate, bro. This ain't that serious.
Yeah, but no.
I don't have to stand up. I don't have to be a stand-up guy.
That's what you've been doing.
You're going too much. You too much in your feelings, man.
Who on this panel would take Josh Allen over Tua?
You will.
I will. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, you will.
And look, how corny does this guy sound? But listen,
you will. Hey, Larry K, really. Hold on. Hey, I respect your channel. I respect your channel. I came over here to have discourse about the Miami Dolphins, a team that's #1 seed in the AFC, first place. We haven't been here in 23 years. We haven't had anything like this. I came to talk about all the positive shit of our team, the direction we're going in and what we can accomplish, and to spread the love about our team that we watched being built. In 2019, Larry K, in 2019, anonymous executive in the NFL was talking about reporting the Miami Dolphins as unsafe work environment because of the way they say Chris Greer tore down his team. Mm-hmm. You fast forward that to 4 years. 4 years later, we're one of the Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to talk about to be positive.
I agree.
Instead of arguing about each other about what player you like, because ultimately, when it comes down to it, I fuck with the name on the front, not the one on the back. If Tua leaves my team tomorrow, F you, Tua. If X leaves my team tomorrow, F you, X. If A-Chan leaves my team tomorrow, F you, A-Chan. It's the name on the front for me. So I'm going to ride for every single person on that team because they got the name of my love on the front.
I'm with you, bro. And I've been telling
everybody. I don't want to
argue
about Tua anymore, not me.
Yeah, bro. I've been telling everybody to soak this up, bro, because this is a good feeling. And Greer deserves a lot of credit. Greer deserves a lot of props for building this team, for making the coaching change when he made it, to get somebody in who understood the strengths of the quarterback better. Bro, I'm soaking it up. I'm in the – and by the way, I got Christmas lights up. I got trees. I'm very excited. I'm a very excited young man. Bro,
y'all think Dallas fans over there right now talking about, man, Dak sucks, man. I wish we had somebody else. Dak sucks. You think any other 9-3 team, Detroit, anybody is pointing out how bad their quarterback sucks?
Now hold up. Now, Nick, just to say, we're doing one at a time on the calls now, so I'm gonna put you backstage. You're gonna come back up. But I gotta get Lewis up, and I gotta get El Cap up. I gotta get him up.
Let me.
All right, one more point, and then let him say something, and then I gotta get these other people
real
up.
Quick, man. I know we'll get the other people. Let me say this, Nick. No offense to anything that you said. Peace to you, brother. It ain't that serious. And I respect you as a brother and a fan and a human being. First, before the Dolphins or anything, I respect you, and as my elder, I respect you. So I apologize if it comes off like that. Second,
hey man, you got a good team. You got a top 5 quarterback. I think he's higher than that.
I know he can put you back there. So let me say this real quick before he puts you back there, because there seems to be a misunderstanding. But I'm on record saying I believe we could win everything with Tua. I'm several videos where I believe we could win everything with Tua. Hold on, I don't believe that Tua's trash. I don't believe that Tua. All I say is I need to see Tua show up in the big time moments. I'm not that guy.
I believe that same thing about Tannehill. I believe that same thing about every quarterback lined up under my team.
Okay, and that's peace be the journey. So listen, just so we're on the same page before we sign you off, man. Listen, I'm on record saying I believe we could win it all with Tua. We're on record. So when we come on here, bro, we're just talking about our concerns, and like Larry says, it's a subjective channel. It's not saying that I think Tua's trash. I'm just saying in the games that Tua's played in the big moments.
Hands up, fellas. There's no concerns with a 9-3 team, man. There's no concerns.
There's no concerns at a 9-3 team. I'm ready to see what happens against Buffalo, Dallas, and Baltimore. That's it.
All right. So we're gonna and thanks for coming up, brother. Thanks for coming up, Nick. And look, everybody got to make their points and dip out. I think he's great. We're 9-3 right now. We're doing great. But I think I still want to see him down the stretch. Lewis, what's up, my brother? Lewis, you there?
Yeah. Thanks for bringing me up, Larry.
No problem. What's on your mind, bro?
And Greg, what's good? Man, I had to get in this conversation. Man, listen, I think both things can be true. I'm with Nick when he says we are 9-3. Mm-hmm. We're number 1 seed in the AFC. We got a 3-game lead in the division. That's all nice and dandy, right? Like, we should all be excited for that. So I'm with Nick there. But I can't lie. In this current debate, what I just listened to for the last 10 minutes, I side with Anthony. Because the fact of the matter is, no one's coming out here and saying Tua Tagovailoa is not a good quarterback. We're not saying that you can't win with Tua. But it is true. Since he's donned a Miami Dolphin uniform, it's when the lights are the brightest, right? It's when those moments arise. And I try to tell people, Larry, this is the best way I can, at least for me, that I can explain it. Mm-hmm. The expectations now for this season for Tua, things have changed. If Tua was giving us the Philadelphia performance or the Kansas City performance in 2020 and 2021, it's a great game for Tua. Right. But with what he did last year and what he's doing this year being mentioned in the MVP conversation and everybody saying he's elite, those performances against Kansas City and Philadelphia were not elite. You see what I'm saying? It's a higher standard now that because of himself, he's put himself in those. nothing Anthony's saying, nothing I'm saying, nothing Shake ever says, you, Larry. He's putting in the work to be an MVP candidate. So I'm with Anthony. When the moments are the brightest, because one thing Anthony said, which I completely agree with, it's funny how this fan base does. When we win, all you hear for the next day is Tua, 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 Tua. Right? That's all you hear.
That's all you
But
hear.
in a loss, it's, well, McDaniel didn't coach this way, or the offensive line missed the block, or the defense missed the tackle. It's never Tua when we lose, right? It's just Tua when we win. And there's some hypocrisy there. So I'm with Ant. Listen, I think we have a good team. I think Tua is the guy to lead us, right? I'm happy with Tua. For me, I think Tua has proven me wrong. Larry, I just heard you say it. I think we weren't wrong with our takes. It's just he's gotten better.
Yes, that
right?
too.
And
that too.
That's to his credit. But nah, bro, in this current debate, I would say I would side more with Anthony when the moments arise, when they present themselves, when the chips are on the table and you need your franchise quarterback, the leader of your team to make the plays. Tua's came up short in those moments. So I would have to agree with Ant, man. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Lewis, bro. I respect that take too. I'm gonna bring you back too. Hold on.
And who you know, I ain't even gonna keep going into it.
The man, the myth, the legends in the building, bro.
Happy time.
Yeah. What up, bro? What up?
You know, I first off, I just want to say I need to clip Nick saying F Tua. I'm gonna clip that, and I'm gonna have that on the show to hold over Nick when he comes up on the panel. I'm gonna be like, oh, you said this, Nick. You don't believe in Tua.
That's great.
That's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna listen. I'm leaning same way, Lou, Anthony. I mean, listen. Here's the deal, right? Tua's definitely not the same guy we've seen in the prior years. Since McDaniel's been around, and the growth from last year to this year, listen, he trends this way, we're all gonna be happy. But you know, winning a big game. Now, listen, say he doesn't win a big game, right, per se in the season, but he goes into playoffs and starts rattling off some big games. I'm gonna be all right with that if a little sleep on him and stuff. But I'll tell you what, loses these big games, loses in the playoffs. And that's going to be the narrative, whether you like it or not. And the real problem here, and Lewis touched on it, and this is what frustrates real Dolphin fans, not people who are sycophants and want to try to push a narrative or be right, or just people call it toxic now. I call it being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be an asshole. Where in the games we've lost, and people bring every excuse in the book, we're not saying that that's Tua's fault we lost that game, but to criticize and keep it real and be 100 about the situation, that's all. Like, where's the objectivity right here? Where's the objectivity? Are we just going to just sit here and swallow lies? Because I'll tell you who does that. Jets fans do that. Bills fans do that.
Dallas fans.
Dallas
fans are the most delusional people on the planet.
These delusional fan bases are cucks. They allow themselves and are happy with being, I don't even know. I don't know because it ain't someplace I'm letting myself be. I don't even know why they do it, but I'm not willing to allow myself or this fan base go in that direction. And I will stand against it, fight against it, call it out, and make fun of you. And that's the best way to destroy people, is make fun of them, and I'm really good at doing that.
Yes, you
are. So I could break you don't have to get physically, just break a bitch's spirit and try to educate them, and then you leave the door open for healing and growth.
I like it.
That's the good way.
I like it. But I agree with you, bro. Like, accountability is key, and the fact of the matter, even Nick just said he agrees. He hasn't done it yet. We want to see him do it. We know he's playing at an elite level. There's nothing wrong with objectivity. And not like Jets fans, bro, they could put anybody out there, and they have, and they'll just start rooting for one thing to root for a guy, but they'll start repping him and finding excuses why he's great when he's not. That I stand by.
How many games has Zach Taylor played for the Jets?
Yeah,
just say how many performances did I listen to the Jets fans who got a win while Zach Taylor threw the ball
Zach Wilson.
I don't know.
Wilson.
Or yeah, whatever. Zach Wilson threw the ball like 21 times and he has like 108 yards and an interception.
Yeah.
and they're talking, yeah, you know, I see how he's gotten better. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is insane. So that's it. What were you gonna say, Anthony?
I just want to say this while El Capitan's on here. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Salute, buddy. Nice meeting you too.
So I say this, man. And Brock Purdy's been in the league how much less time than Tua, bro? He opened his game against us last year. I remember it vividly. Listen, he went into Philadelphia. They played in Philly, right? I'm not mistaken. It was in Philly, right?
No, San Francisco. Oh, yeah, Philadelphia was.
Yes. It was a primetime game, correct? Listen, I'm not going to say San Fran has a better team. They got a running back. Christian McCaffrey is nice. One of the best in the league. There's only one other running back that's head-to-head with Christian McCaffrey in every category. That's the guy we got, right? However, we got two other guys behind him that surpassed the other two they got behind him. Ayuk, he may or may not be better than Waddle. If not, they're on the same level. Or Waddle's better, however you want to look at it. Deebo Samuel, neither one of their receivers are better than Tyreek Hill.
No, Tyreek Hill's best receiver in the league.
Yeah,
yes, sir. The only thing they got better for them is Greg Kittle, and he didn't really even get much play that game. What did Brock Purdy do to that Philadelphia defense?
So Brock Purdy,
Brock
Purdy had himself a game. I don't think that was the story. I don't think that was the story of the game because it was Philadelphia's defense that obviously didn't show up. Their D is good, man, it is what it is.
Now, this is where I have a problem, El Capitan. Listen, the same people suit up every week. Now, I know that the refs had a lot of against us. There was a lot of missed calls, but hold on, man. It's the same, our offense against their defense, and it was their offense against their defense. Now, good game, bad game, however you want to look at it. Look, man, them people went up and executed, right? They handled their business.
I watched that game probably 2 more times on some film stuff through all 22. We got robbed a lot, and it was the most painful times to get. Every big play that was made was called back, and every third down and a long conversion was called back. But I get you. I don't want excuses. I don't think we were out of that game till we weren't out of that game until somewhere around the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. And if you're gonna take a loss
with all our injuries on defense and the
that's
refs
right,
we weren't out of the
refs
game.
help them.
We had some fantastic throws to keep us in the game.
Tua did good. I don't think he's the reason we lost. I don't think the execution. I just feel like, that's one of these ones where you're going to chalk up that you got to just move past. Now, if you're going to use it in an example to make points, I understand. I don't think Tua didn't show up in a bigger game. You know what I'm saying? But he's not showing up in the way what we're talking about. And Brock Purdy didn't do that either, I believe.
Yeah,
Brock is good, but he's a facilitator. We're talking. I think Tua has better qualities to put on the show that we're
put
trying
Tua
to
in
see.
San Fran, bro. And by the way, San Fran. Listen, guys, energy matters in football, and I know CB3's over here saying people didn't play the game. I played the game, bro. Maybe not at a high level, but I played the game. Most of us did anyway.
I've definitely played it more
and I played many sports, bro. So all I'm saying is energy is a thing, bro. And let's be real. San Francisco was mad about the playoffs last year, and they came in on a mission. I ain't giving Purdy that crap.
I think they blew their stoke, honestly.
They did.
I think they blew their stoke. They're gonna find the Eagles. They're gonna find the Eagles in the playoffs and get mollywopped.
I think
bro.
so
I don't think
bro.
Mark
my words.
I don't think so. Mark mine. They meet them again. It'll be a similar result. I don't think
we're gonna find out, Anthony, because I think they're gonna get mollywopped, bud, in a way where they've continued to just get outclassed. I do think they flexed on them a little bit. They flexed on him a little bit because Purdy was in this game, not like the other one. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this is what you would have got, bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. They were saying it, bro. Like, it ain't even speculation. Like, that was what happened. Like,
hold on. I'm asking you guys, when did you see Purdy miss opportunities.
No, Purdy's as
what did
far
he
as an
do?
operator
What did he
in that
do?
system, he's great. Not good, great at it. I still
That's-
think Tua, and
that's
if you're
what
going to
Tua needs to
marginalize the two of these guys, Purdy
see.
versus Tua, where Purdy has straight 7s across the board, Tua has maybe a 7 and even a 6, but he's got 9s in other categories. If you're gonna weigh the two, Tua in all facets, and the part, while I don't put the same expectations on Purdy as I do Tua, I expect Tua to be the guy when it comes to a point when everyone is looking for the leader, and in this game, we're not out, but we're down, and we're in a way where we're looking for someone, and I want to see that happen. Which I've seen him, but I want to see it happen in the brightest of lights.
Yeah, because we saw it a little cap against Commanders, but that's the Commanders. But I did like it.
Yeah, I've seen him do that in other games where he's a guy, bad pick, come out, rail off 90 yards down the freaking thing and score, and then come back and put up a point. Next thing you know, we're out 2 touchdowns. I've seen him do this. The only thing we're asking for is to do it when we need it to count the most, when the world's watching. So we know what we can see against an opponent that we want to see it against, and everyone else does too. Everyone else, it's not just us. It'll be undeniable. That's what we want.
Have you seen that? Now, let me ask you this, El Capitan. Have you seen that since Tua's been, this is his 4th year, have you seen a game where there's contingencies attached to it that Tua has performed in the fashion that you'd like to see him perform? Yes or no?
The Ravens game.
The Ravens game when?
Last year, that Ravens game last year.
Hold on. I said when there's contingencies attached to it. Let me.
Well, I get it. Yes, I got you. There's no nothing's riding on it that's going to make or break us.
Exactly.
I agree.
The Buffalo game.
No.
What about the Bills?
Before the Baltimore game, we had the Buffalo game.
Yeah, but what about the Buffalo game?
He won that game
at the end. The one we lost, he played pretty good though, bro, in the snow. That wasn't on him.
No, I'll agree. He did, and I'll give you that. But I'm asking specifically. This is his 4th season.
Well,
right?
Where in a game? But hold on. How about this, Anthony?
If we win, we're in. If we win, we continue to be the number 1 seed. A game
right now,
winning
the Commanders game almost fits that a little bit. Winning the Commanders game, and every game from here on out could quote unquote have that.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? You go and lay an egg on Monday night to the Titans, and everybody wins, and we fall down to the 4th or spot. We're gonna be like, what the hell? We lost
on
Monday night.
You know what? And admittedly, I didn't think about it like that until you just said it. Because up in this week, moving forward, how close of a race with everything interchangeable with Jacksonville, Baltimore, Kansas City.
all what happens.
I don't give a damn. We're playing Washington or whatever, and you're absolutely
that's added
correct.
pressure.
And it was on the road.
You're right, bro. It is added pressure.
And I agree with you. And I didn't look at it in that.
That's why I'm encouraged by the command. I'm not jumping forward, but I'm encouraged.
Thank you.
It is now. It is the stakes are that high, and really. What game has Tua been in where the stakes were that high and he came up short? Now, yes, we can say mid-season games last year that we lost when the losing thing, the Niners game, we wanted that. We could do that, but again, because of the injury, there's no way of redeeming himself. And then years prior, especially his rookie year, and you know what I'm saying, like. Between injuries and between this team being bad, really the stakes we're talking about haven't presented themselves other than maybe the Niners game last year. That Niners game, to me, the stakes were at the highest, all that stuff. Yeah. But if we're going to remain objective as we can,
which we do,
still a young offense. We got a new defensive coordinator. You know, the changes where the failure in which they saw, they've made adjustments to. So really, this is the time to prove it. That's what it is. This is the time to prove it.
Show me.
This is it. From here through the playoffs, we're going to answer these questions over the next 6 games, because we have 5 in the season. I don't care what happens unless we lose everything and a lot of people win a lot of stuff. We'd at minimum get in the playoffs as a wild card at this point. You know what I'm saying? So the opportunity is going to present itself. Now, there's another way in which that opportunity gets squandered if he gets injured again. If that happens, then it's not whether he can win big enough games. It's whether or not he can last to get into the games that really matter. As far as what the goal is, every game matters, but the goal is to be champions.
Yes,
to have the rings to hoist the Lombardi. That is the goal.
Yes.
So,
yeah, I agree with you, bro. Well said. Well said. Well said.
All right, boys.
All right,
You got
Cat.
anybody in the back?
Okay.
Huh?
You got anybody else in the back?
Yeah, I got
Crypto.
Crypto. We'll let Crypto hop up.
All right.
All right, brother.
See you, boys.
Thanks
Later,
for joining
y'all.
us.
Nice
Appreciate
meeting
you,
you,
man.
Anthony. Greg.
Respect and love,
Greg.
bro.
Shake, I'll see you over there. And Larry, peace out.
All right, man.
Later, brother. Crypto, what's up, my brother?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up,
Can
bro?
anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay.
What's going on, man? How you feeling on this Victory Tuesday, bro?
Pretty good, pretty good. You know, another game I got to witness in person, and pretty good. I was
you
enjoying
went
every
and
moment
saw?
of it.
Nice, bro.
Yeah.
You went down to Takeover. How was the crowd, bro? How was that? How was that?
Yeah, it was. It was finally you got more, just about 50-50 fans in the lower bowls. You know,
That's
it's
awesome.
like we bought all of their tickets that they just wanted to dump out on the open market.
I
and
thought
we
it was
swapped
like
them up.
that. Yeah, because they're so bad. I figured like we would have a better
It was
turnout
like
because of that.
capitalizing off being able to sell us tickets. You know, and they did. And we was able to fill up at least a good portion of that lower bowl, and then the upper bowl was still their fans. But yeah, it
That's
was a
dope.
good representation.
How were the
It was
fans?
actually
How was
more
it?
at
I've
that
never
stadium
been.
I saw than at the Jets stadium.
Yeah, no,
You know,
because
the Jets game. It was more at that in the Commanders game than it was at the Jets.
Crypto, I was at the Jets one, and it was funny because I've been to almost every single Dolphins Jets game at MetLife and even Giants Stadium since I was a kid. And I was actually surprised when I pulled up to the Jets game at how many Jets fans had showed out. I wonder if it was because Black Friday, they sold a lot of tickets because the Rodgers thing. But how was
Right.
I go to DC all the time. I love the city of DC, but I never been to that stadium. Is that in Maryland or that's in Maryland, right?
It's in Maryland. Yep.
Yeah.
The
So
stadium was in Maryland.
yeah,
Yep.
how was the
Orlando.
environment? How were the people and all that? How was the experience? Because I never been.
It was pretty good. I thought we was gonna have a fog game. The fog was
Right.
rolling in. It was heavy. I couldn't see the stadium from the parking lot, and it was like right there. You
Yeah.
know, visibility went to crap, and then the next thing you know, we kicking off, and then boom, sky's clearing up. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we can run our regular offense now. It was fun.
Yeah, it looked kind
You
of
know.
foggy, but that's good. That's good that it was fun and
Yeah.
that it was good. And anything
I
you
had a good
noticed in
time. It was out
particular about
there.
the team?
Nothing in particular other than you know, them playing decent football. You know, because that's them playing on at a level that they have to treat every game like a playoff game,
Hello?
even though
Right.
regardless of your opponent.
What's up?
Because I'm of the mindset that we're 1-0. I'm not counting the
What's
previous
going on?
11 games, even though it matters.
It's true.
But
Yeah, you can't.
we've been plagued with December football woes. So
Right.
from a mentality standpoint, I look at us as 1-0. You know,
True.
that's the first big
That's how I'm
domino to
doing it.
fall in our playoff run.
True story, bro.
Because every
That's how
game
I'm
from
looking
this
at it.
day going forward is an important ball game. Even if you slip up next week, it's still big because think about it. The number 1 seed is only 2 games ahead of the number 7 seed in the loss column.
Yes,
You
bro.
could
That's
blink
real.
and you could be easily on the outside looking in.
Yes. That's why I'm not playing with anything. That's why I'm not counting any
Right.
chickens. I'm loving every
The-
victory week.
The
I'm
7
soaking up.
seed, there's not that much
That-
separation in the loss column from
Yeah.
the 7
That's-
seed to the number 1 seed.
That's why with the Titans and Jets, we can't be playing with snakes. We got to put them out. Stop playing with the snakes. Put them out.
Yeah, put them out.
Right.
Put those
You
Bills.
got to take it serious.
Yeah,
you can't
man.
overlook no game and no opponent from this day going forward.
I
'Cause
agree with
any
you.
kind of a slide or slip up, you can be a scoreboard watching and on the outside looking in.
True story. 100% true, bro.
Yeah,
So
'cause the
that's
rest of
why
the
I'm
field
soaking up.
can easily pass you up. Yeah.
Every victory
Yep.
week, I soak up because it's they do not promise tomorrow, bro. They do not promise tomorrow. I'm enjoying every bit of this, and I'm not counting my chickens. That's just how it is. So that's good to hear. I'm glad you were out there showing out, man. How would the tailgate scene? You tailgate at all?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Nice. Did they set up
Yep,
something
got
like a
some.
takeover type thing, or you
It
just
was
chill
a
with whoever?
yeah.
Okay.
Tailgater did the hosting of one of the tailgates that was out
Mm-hmm.
there.
That's dope. That's
So
dope.
yeah, with Miami Sports Music, Solo D,
Oh,
Stevie
he's
D,
that dude. I love him. Yeah,
you
that's
know.
cool. That's cool.
So
He's
yeah,
a good dude.
who's out there at the tailgate,
Because
you
he's
know.
from Baltimore, I feel like originally. I know he moved. I think he was
hmm
from Baltimore, so that makes sense. He's not far from, that
Right.
beltway. Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
So that
he
makes
is.
sense. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's good to hear, Crypto. That's real good to hear, man.
Yeah, getting out there, seeing all the fans, the local fans,
Yeah.
versus them
Mhm.
all commuting from Miami.
Bro,
People was
it
commuting
was
from the
funny because
Mid-Atlantic.
you could tell, bro, because I'm over at the Jets games and I was telling people with my jacket, like you could tell who was from like the New York area, the way they say it. And the dudes from Florida are like, yo, that's drip of the day, bro. Like, and I loved it. Like, you could be like, nah, these dudes are Florida dudes, made the trip. These
Yep.
dudes are Jersey dudes, New York dudes. So you know how
Hell,
it
the
goes. It's
DJ, I
funny.
didn't even know the DJ that normally does the DJing for the tailgates, he's actually from Maryland himself.
No, that's
I was
crazy.
always thinking he was a Miami guy. He was from
Right.
Miami, the state of Florida. But no, he actually is from the Eastern Shore, Eastern Maryland.
Yeah,
I
bro,
was
we
like, oh
got
man.
fans everywhere. This is a national team. I mean, it's Florida's team. That's why we rep Florida and whatever. But this
Yep.
is a national team, man. People love the
See,
Dolphins everywhere.
People want to make fun of our
Right.
fan base because we can't fill up the Hard Rock. I saw some DC
And that's been our
on Twitter.
woes.
There was like some
Yeah.
Commanders fans shocked to see how many Dolphins fans they were, and he said they can't even sell out their own stadium. I feel like there's more Dolphins fans outside of the Miami area. I think there's still fans in the Miami area. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's more because in Miami, there's tons of things to do down there.
Thank you.
There's also people coming
Let's
in and
clear
out.
that up, Greg. As a guy that grew up in South Florida, let's just clear that up. Greg, you're absolutely correct. I'm going to tell you two things. First and foremost, there's a million guys from New York in South Florida.
Yep.
A million.
Mhm.
They come down there. It's so great in New York and all this other stuff and how much better the bagels and the pizza. They come down here to South Florida to retire. They come down here when they're on the lam from, things they did in New York, they come to South Florida. That's one reason. Second reason, there's a million things to do in Miami. A gorgeous day, a million things. The beach is one of the most. Nobody goes to Miami. You have to really be a true South Floridian, and there's not that many. There really isn't. It's just is what it is, man.
But I'll say this though too, bro. The TV now, the last couple seasons, whatever. The TV now, they and this happens at every football game and hockey games because I go to a lot of games. I'm a game guy, and the camera angles always pick up on where the box seats are, where people are in the boxes and they're not sitting in their seats, and they pan around early in the half and early in the games. I was in that stadium this year, bro, in Florida. The stadium was packed, bro. Every seat near me was filled in the end zone. It was packed and it was loud. So it's also the team's success and everything else too. The stadium is more crowded when you go to Florida and go in there than it looks like on TV when they pan around at the beginning of the half and the beginning of the game. And then when they pan on those box seats, because the same thing happens with the Devils. They're in there. You're even in the stadium looking at the Devils. And you're like, why are those middle seats a whole section empty? It's because they're all in the box. Those are the seats for the people in the box too. So don't get it twisted. It's true. There's a national fan base, and everything Lucci said is true. My family is originally from New York. They're all down there. That's why I have connections to South Florida because of all my family that has been there for a generation, though, and they are Dolphins fans.
They're Dolphins fans.
Yeah, but like there is like that interplay. People from Buffalo, people from Michigan, people from Massachusetts, but the stadium's pretty packed when they're good. I mean, it's been louder this year. It was packed when I was in there.
Yeah, when they pan, right after the half, Larry, we all know last call is halftime. They stopped selling alcohol after that.
Yes.
So it's gonna look like that because everybody in the lines are forever waiting to get
there
your last
forever,
drink.
Bro. The lines take forever.
That's when they show, like Larry said, to his, when they show that, guys are over there. But this year, I'll tell you what, if you don't believe that the Miami Dolphins are selling tickets, go online and try to buy a ticket to the next game.
I was surprised.
See how much money you have to pay for a nosebleed. I just said earlier on the show, the Buffalo games, 5 games away, they want $300 for nosebleed, where you need an oxygen mask to sit.
No, it's selling, bro. It is. Don't
That's
get
how
it
it was.
twisted. We
So
packed
if the game,
stadiums out.
if it's not sold out,
Yeah, it was.
what do you think's
Nosebleed.
happening? You know,
And the national fans are going to Miami too, and also packing it. So I think you get playoff games in Miami. It's going to be loud and packed. That's what I think.
Hey, Larry K, I'm finna head out, man. Yeah, I
right,
appreciate
bro.
all y'all as always. Much love,
Yeah,
guys.
now Shake Money.
Yeah. Hard Knocks on.
Yeah, all right, bro.
All right.
Yeah, we're about to wrap up.
Showtime, right?
All right, man. So I'll be easy, man. Hey, Lucci, I'll see you Thursday, my brother.
You know it. I'll see you then.
Hard Knocks is on Showtime, right?
Your week. I'll talk to you before then.
Shake.
Yes,
it's
sir.
on Showtime.
Yeah. No. HBO.
Oh, HBO. Okay. What was I thinking?
All right.
Showtime.
All right, later, bro.
Hey, by the way, I'll give you the link so you can watch it in the group chat. Crypto.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm signing off. I'm gonna be out actually next week, next Tuesday. I'm not gonna be able to make it because I got some family thing I got to do. So you're gonna have to hold it down, Shake. But
all right,
we'll talk about it off the air. All right, bro. Later, bro. Have a good night. You see, it's funny. I can't watch Hard Knocks on Tuesdays anymore because I got my girl into it now. So now I got to wait for her on the weekends to watch the show, which I'm not complaining, bro. I took her to the game. Lucci met her. Shake met her. Like, she's into it now. Man. Yeah, bro. She's into it.
Man. She's cool to be around.
She's nice, man. So she likes it. So I'm like waiting for her. So I don't get to watch tonight, but I am going to wrap the show up, man. This was a great show. 2 hours. When the show's just flowing, we're going to go 2 hours. And by the way, thanks to everybody who came up and talked. The one at a time format, which was Lucci's big cosign too. I think it works a lot better. So thank you all for coming up. Thank you all for watching. And thank you all for supporting the channel. If you haven't hit subscribe. Join us on Thursday, though. The happy hour, Lucci and Shake, is the Fins happy hour. They're going to talk about who we need to watch, who needs to win this weekend. They're going to talk about our matchup with the Titans, and they're going to talk about a lot of other things. And then there's an opportunity for people to come talk to them. So join that, man. Join Fury Family. Got a lot of content, a lot of personalities, man. So, all right, everybody.
There's no such sex in the champagne room.
Crypto, I hope you have a good rest of your week, man. Everybody,
you too, man.
Peace be the journey. Finn's Take, whatever your name is, may the Lord be with you.
Later, all. Later, guys.
Yeah, later, y'all.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loved the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day.